Ackhiii, we got the boy Gohu. you're the famous Gohu that everyone was talking about, my bro, at the Fumes engineer. I don't even know why your name even got mentioned, but we're here now. I thought, let me just get you. Obviously, I'm a bit kind of lost why he even mentioned your name and whatnot. You can give us some contents of your relation to Fumes or your relation to Lucii and what you do inside the industry, because he kind of mentioned like this is an industry person. So yeah, let us know, please, my bro.
So yeah, thanks for actually giving me an opportunity to speak, because I've reached out to both Made You Think and Clue. No one's responded. I've had to go to Danny Pressplay to ask about, UKL, and to have a conversation so I can at least tell my side of it, because you and me are both confused. And I'm going to say this to start, yeah? I'm sat on the quiet side of the internet on a profile that has been a private Instagram profile for many years. Yeah. Since I left actually being involved with music management, because I had enough, and a lot of my personal friends know that. I've been on a private Instagram profile. I don't get involved in stuff, but someone's involved me on the internet. People are asking me questions. Someone's brought up to my kid at school, and like, to me, to be lying on me and my child taking the fucking piss
No
at the end of the
way.
day. Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
But to start with, I was on radio. I started off on Pulse 88. My passion's always been music. And I used to work at a place like Go, the influencer agency for many years. Did some big campaigns with the FA, UEFA, Champions League, Cricket World Cup, all of that kind of stuff. I ended up going on to Pulse 88. I just to like learn to be in the industry, because I loved music. I had a show called the Sunday Dinner Club. Me and a guy called Mo Majid, two South Asian guys, were doing predominantly rap music. Louis was behind the scenes with us, producing us. Louis was heavily involved in the J Bids' studio.
Okay.
Louis, like, me and him haven't spoken in years, but what a good guy he was to work with. Like, fantastic to deal with. And so essentially that happened, and we moved to the Beat London. At that point, Moeed went his own direction, and then me and Louis launched Rap Flicks and Drill. We were bringing in drill artists on Pulse 88 with no one to give them a platform. I did drill karaoke when I was up Pulse 88, and that caught the attention of Mixtape Madness, who then approached me about working with me, and that had its own twists and turns, having to deal with them during a time which was very difficult and volatile for their business, and why Groundworks came around. I was managing Dan and Kaz. The Reactors ended up working with Walks as just my friend. And then Lee to the VI will refer to me as his manager. I've never really stepped into it, and I'll get to why. And please bring that up later on in the conversation as to why I've not. And Lee and I have had a personal conversation about this yesterday, about me mentioning this stuff, and he was completely cool with it.
Okay.
I worked with Mandem Central. We had a small agency working with different digital platforms and labels to promote artists.
Dope.
So we were heavily involved with people like Tion Wayne with Atlantic Records, Sony, and whatever else. But yeah, I love doing radio. I love doing music. And yeah, that was my background.
Well
I ended
done.
up working with Block 6. Thank you. Appreciate you. I started working with Block 6 because Kaz, who's one of the people I was managing from Dan and Kaz the Reactors, had the idea about managing artists, because it was difficult for us to, commercialize reactions due to the whitelist, due to copyright strikes.
Yeah.
And whilst we got to a certain solution with Sony Music, it really wasn't amazing in terms of what they make in terms of revenue for the channel. One of the alternative ideas was let's manage some artists, because we've got a lot of relationships. I've got radio, they've got YouTube. We know different people in the industry. We can help someone grow. He really believed in Ghostface 600. So initially, we reached out to Ghostface 600. And that was we had a meeting the day the plug didn't actually drop to Fumes. The original thing was me and Kaz were going to manage Ghostface.
Okay.
The trio at the time had another manager who was YA's older brother. And he was heavily involved with them. And I think at some point he tried to manage a couple of artists. I'm not going to mention their names. I'm not going to bring up his name, because from my understanding, he's no longer in the industry. And like me, he's probably minding his life. He's a family person. So whatever's being said about him, I don't want to drag him into anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then after that, Ghostface became the manager of the trio. I was still managing Ghostface. There was that back and forth between Ghostface Views and my friend Walks, who I work with quite closely. And I introduced Walks to Lucii. At that time, I was only managing, Ghostface. There was a back and forth every day. There were arguments on the phone. Matthew, who was, like the cameraman, was getting dragged into arguments when he could have been working and doing other stuff. It was a very toxic situation. I wanted to walk away. And then came the whole situation about this plugged in.
Okay.
So a contract was put in front of Ghostface, from my understanding, and Bella, and a lawyer that they had. At the time, YA would have been 16, Tiz would have been 17, and Lucii would have been 17. I said, I'm leaving, I'm not getting involved, because all the arguments about money, and there's no money really there to be talking about, right? And I
Okay.
said, I'm not getting myself involved in this. I don't like the drama. I'm off. Like, I've got other stuff to do. I'm a parent at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
I'm working. I'm doing volunteer work on this radio station, trying to get a career going in music. And all of this is happening. So anyway, that happens. And then Lucii calls me and says, can you please call Fumes? Because before I'd spoken to Fumes about the disagreement he had with YA's brother, trying to squash it between them. And the argument was essentially Fumes was trying to manage the boys. And like he's been very difficult, with YA's brother. And
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
making the boys certain promises about what he could do for them industry wise if he signed with them. Now, at the time, me and YA's brother did have an argument, right? And I thought it was probably YA's brother being hot headed. The reality is, after getting to know Fumes and what YA's brother said in terms of how Fumes communicates and deals with people, he's a very provocative victim. He'll provoke, he'll hang up, he'll be disrespectful, he'll be rude. You get hold of him, he'll be like, oh, you have to beg to speak to me. And obviously, as a grown man, you're not really going to have that. And remember,
Yeah.
he's not a music guy, he's not an industry guy. He's a grown man who's had a whole life ahead, before he ever met Fumes. That makes sense. It's that way you need to deal with adults. And sadly, Fumes didn't have that capability of dealing with people properly, that
And
skill set.
let me stop you. So this is your
Yeah.
experience with Fumes. This is the conversation. This is the story.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm letting you explain everything. Because for me, I don't want
Yeah.
anyone. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm pushing a
You've
narrative.
led the
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
conversation. Yeah, no, 100%.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
And
And
everyone has their own experiences with Fuse, but at the same time, we always need to be fair. So whatever's being said is in a fair manner. It's correct to say.
Yeah. That's fair.
Thank you,
And
bro.
if you feel I've said anything that's not right, feel free to correct me on it.
This is your truth.
I'm good with that.
This is your truth.
Yeah.
So I can't. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Everything you're saying is bang on.
So they anyway, Lucii ended up calling me saying, "Look, can you please tell them not to give Ghost the money because he'll end up like taking the money."
Okay.
And I'm thinking, fuck. And the only reason I even had Fumes' number because I used to ask him for like clean edits for radio because he does a lot of sound engineering. And all the artists say, speak to Fumes, I'll record it with him. Fumes never send anything. I had his number. The only thing he ever sent was an artist he's working called Lix Torre. He wasn't a rapper, but he wanted him on our rap show, which made no sense to us, right? And then he took that a little bit personally at the time, but that is what it is. Anyway, we fast forward to that. I call him and say, hey, look, this is what they've said. Pay the kids directly. And I said, I'm hoping you have a parental counter signature on the paperwork because they are minors.
Okay, you said that. You stated
Right?
that, yeah?
Yeah. Then I get called a pocket watcher for me saying that. And I'm like, bro, I'm not involved in this. The kids have asked me to have a conversation with you like this. That's it. Whatever you choose to do is down to you. Right? And notice there's screen recording or something I sent to you. You know, in my DMs the last time I spoke to or interacted with Fumes in 2020.
Yeah.
And noticed all about third parties. Third parties Ghostface 600.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this contract that he said I've signed, I've never seen it. It's never been sent to me. I've asked, made you think? Can you send me this contract?
Okay.
No one's come back to me.
So what we need to
put it on the comments.
So what we need to do,
Yeah.
because Fumes was big on I've got receipts. So what we need to do, because I actually know who signed it. You get me? But what we need to do is we need young Fume or Fumes the engineer to send you the contract that you supposed to have signed, so you can confirm that you signed the contract, right?
Yeah, and also, what's the audit trail? Because me and him have never met each other in person ever a day in our lives.
Okay.
So, what is the audit trail? The paperwork coming to me and then coming back to you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the email chain like? Let's see that.
Yeah, because
remember,
Lucii,
you've seen it.
Lucii told me, Lucii got proof, and he showed privately. He's got the email trail. Do you know what I mean? From this to that to that. Okay, cool. And he mentioned you that you basically you was behind this. You was the guy that signed the paperwork.
Yeah, he's publicly said that on a public platform, the podcast, that I signed it.
Yeah.
He mentioned my name.
Yeah.
And can I ask you this, Bouncer?
Yeah.
At any point, have I ever spoken? I mean, you don't really have a relationship. It's only recently we've spoken because of this,
properly, yeah.
I met you twice in person, and you probably don't even remember. And I said, bro, I'm not even bothered if you remember or not. It was a passing thing, right?
Yeah.
So for me, at any point, have I mentioned Fumes' name anywhere?
No, never. You never. Not to me. You haven't even messaged me, even when I was going back and forth with him for how long. You ain't messaged me or said anything. You just carried on doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and it was like, at the time you had like people like Lucii, man. I was like, can I get him in for an interview? Do you know what I mean? They're the kind of messages I had with you, and you just weren't at the time. And to be fair, it probably wouldn't make sense in terms of coming on the platform. Do you know what I mean? But it was what it was. And when I met you in person, you were very polite to me and gave me a number regardless, and it was your birthday at the time. You were celebrating it in White City House, and Dig That was performing.
Look at that.
Right?
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Right. So all of that's gone on, right? I've never mentioned anyone's name, but why is my name being dragged in something? And notice he said the manager scammed them, but he said I'm the manager.
Yeah.
Can I please see where I've scammed someone, please?
That's
Can you show me where? Remember, he's got the receipts for the bank transfers.
Yeah.
My name's a very bait name. He's got my email address, and you've seen the DMs in terms of he's got my email address.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you think knows my name. He has sent me money back about promo before.
Yeah.
Clue knows me, and like there's a lot of people around Clue who know me as well, so they know what my real name is and everything, and they have all my information. Everyone's got my contact details. Can someone please send me this contract that apparently I've signed? And can someone show me where he sent me money?
I think on the stream, or you can see that everything that he was doing. Obviously, Demlot was on there. There was they had a good stream, to be honest. But I think it's not really on Made You Think or Clue to even. Do you know what I mean? It's on Dan. It's on Fume, because he's going on his phone. He's saying this. He's seeing bits of this, and he said he's got all the receipts. So now we want to see all the receipts, because we've got the receipts. We've got the real receipts. So we want to see what he's saying. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Here's the other question, right? I've DM'd, like I said to you, I've messaged a WhatsApp Clue. I've not heard back, which I'm a little bit disappointed in. I've messaged Made You Think, and they said, "Oh, admin will come. He'll come back to you."
Yeah.
Notice right now on something that they posted, and they are promoting for clip downs. Someone is calling me a scammer.
Yeah, nah, I hear you.
My name has been, and you've seen someone message me, and it's pulled a business opportunity from me because I've sent you the screenshot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm minding my own business. Fumes has said my name, and notice in the video thing recording I sent you,
yeah.
And I'll get to what was being discussed at the time.
Yeah.
He's saying I'm speaking about him. His thing was, you're always talking about me. You think about me all the time, brother. We've not communicated since December 2020. Why is my name on the internet, and why is it coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's weird. I don't understand why he even mentioned your name. And to be honest, he tripped up. He tripped up in it because he said that, oh, you're the industry person, you're the person that's managing. But then in the voice note, there was a voice note that got said, and it was like, oh yeah, but after the management, then someone went on to, then Lucii went on to speaking to you and working with you. But before that, there was the actual management that dealt with all of this, which Fume knows who the manager was. It was not you. So for him to mention your name, it's like, it doesn't even make sense.
It's pure defamation of character.
Yeah.
And given that you've got that situation with Danny, talking about cease and desist, brother, you got a team of lawyers. He said to you at some point when he's responding to you, about a team of lawyers. I've stayed off the internet apart from the past 24 hours when it comes to this scene. And I said that to you when he sent you voice. And seen some stuff out there. So you got a team full of lawyers, and no one told you don't accuse people falsely of things where you've got no proof or evidence. Don't put it on a public platform, because that's defamation. No one's told you that. If you're bro, like, please, someone make it make sense. I've not said his name. He brings up my name. And then the whole thing was, after he had done the whole plugged in thing, after I started working with like Sylvia Coleman and Ali Niaz, who you probably know as Kodak, on Pure Sounds, that's where the boys signed to. I was doing the actual running around, getting them to studio, helping them with songs. Walks gave us a studio, because at one point we were getting so many threats, bro. We could not trust anyone. So Walks kindly would bring in, like, bro, that's a whole nother thing. And there's people you can speak to in the industry that you will know. Even people close to like people like Tion Wayne, who will talk about, some of the stuff that I was going through at the time. And it was like a joke, like to the point that certain people you and I will know said, "Do you want me to talk to them?" And I'm like, no, because if anything escalates, it's on me, because it's my argument with somebody that you've stepped into, right? And I don't want that to live on my conscience at the end of the day, because you're actually a friend. And I value people as friends at the end of the day. So all of that was going on. So Walks gave us a studio, which is his studio to record out of. And we were bringing in producers to record music with the boys, right? And we were doing our little thing. We're minding our own business. Obviously, there's a back and forth with Block 6, a lot of stuff being slung. And then Fume says, oh, he wants to do a Christmas special. And the Christmas special had no OTP, BM. And me and BM at that time used to speak. And they said, oh, I think it was like either free or it was like very low percentage. Or no, like the back end. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. And he's like, you get the promo out of it. And Lucii was saying to me, Pop, we got a promo. And I was like, brother, it makes no sense. We're struggling for money because, like the money's been sucked in terms of like what you should have been paid. I'm putting, to this day, I've not got my money back that I put into things like Dunkin' Donuts and all the other songs that were coming out in that small period of time. What's it called? Lean With It was signed by GRM Daily. Bro, you think I see my money back on paying for the sessions on that? Never. Paying for the beat? Never. Do you know what I mean? So there's all that going on. And Lucii's going to test that.
The music scene is a dark space, bro. The music scene is a dark space. And if you don't know the business side, bro, they will eat you up and spit you out, bro. And then they'll go and like, you're the bad guy. They'll look at you and be like, this guy's the bad guy. It was him. these
But look at this
jokers.
situation now.
Yeah,
And don't forget, like, I've interviewed Clue. Clue's been around me. I was at the Demon Time remix shoot. The only reason Block 6 were even there, like Ghostface and all that,
yeah,
was because I got invited by Say So because I pushed that song and we had like a friendship. Yeah, even
yeah,
now, me and him will talk. Right. And
yeah,
I'm not gonna go too much into my personal relationship with Say So. I've got a lot of time, a lot of love, and a lot of respect for him. He's a really good guy. Right.
yeah,
And anyway, I was involved in some kind of way with the remix, and I'm not going to put that out there because those who know. And
yeah,
at no point have I sought credit, money, or anything. Yeah, I
yeah.
did it because I believed in someone and I thought they could go with someone with it.
So what I would
So,
say about Clue though,
yeah,
he's not really involved in this. He's literally you can see he was literally listening to what my man. He didn't even know. First he jumped on it. He said he
yeah.
went to do a segment and he didn't know what it was about. So he's been caught off guard, right? Then obviously
Yeah, yeah, I hear
your name's been mentioned, Goku. You might not he might not even know you're the right person. You're actual the Goku. He might do, he might not. But what I'm saying to you is I think the problem is more around Fume. It's not around the co-host
No,
that
no, but
on,
here's the
do
thing.
you know what I mean?
But this tells you, you know, when Demon Time remix was shot,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
music video. I bought the artist I was managing, Ghostface 600.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
boys weren't in that music video. Ghostface was.
Okay,
Does that
okay.
make sense?
Yeah, yeah, I'm with
So
you.
that was done as a favor to help me because he knew I was helping out a new artist, and he was, bro. He, as a friend, it wasn't a business thing. As a friend, he was helping me, if that made sense.
I'm
By
with you.
putting
I'm
him in
with
the
you.
video.
I'm with you. I'm
Yeah,
with
it was
you.
a
I'm with
big
you.
favor,
I'm with you.
and I was just happy to even be at the shoot, right?
Yeah,
And I've got private stuff on my Snap. I don't post that I've recorded with, and Sykes to come over and show me a lot of love. I started to put a paper, had a great moment, the human moments of him,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
the
yeah,
only reason Ghostface in that music video is because I was managing him. If I was managing the boys, they'd been in the music video.
yeah, yeah. I'm
So
with
there's
you.
all these clues publicly that I'm not involved in
Yeah,
management at this point.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
only involved in management when I've brought
The
Sylvia and Ellie to the table,
yeah.
and we've spoken to YA's parents about the situation and got the counter signature.
Okay. So
And
you
we've
got the
got them a
count.
contract.
So you got the counter signature from YA's parents that you're managing.
Yeah,
Yeah, his
his
mum.
mother,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good. So
Yeah.
yes, I wanna go more into these signatures, the counter signatures,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
what
yeah.
Lucy's saying, look, my man, like he hasn't done things right, and at the end of the day, it means that he's plugged in is
Sorry,
void. It
can
means
you
that the
clarify my man, please?
so
People
sorry,
start putting
bro.
things
So
on.
he basically saying that Fumes, the engineer, hasn't done things correct. So he's basically
Yeah.
saying everything around the signing of the plugged ins wasn't done properly. So that means that the contract and everything is void and we can prove it. So my end is if I can get from this that they get back their ownership of the track moving forward, then at least that, do you know what I mean? They haven't got too much of a bad taste of them out in their mouth. Do you know what I mean?
Let me honest with you, yeah. I would go anywhere and go to any court
Yeah.
to have that conversation. There have been
There you
times
go.
when drill artists have been on trial for things, and I've shown up as either an industry witness or a character witness in certain situations. I know when they've been followed by police that
Yeah.
they were in this for an interview,
Yeah.
and I could just send a statement. I've shown up to court for people.
Yeah.
So if it comes to that, I would do it.
Yeah.
People can go through my phone, not a problem.
So, because
And I'll
what's
even
happening
explain
is
to her-
Fume is taking Danny Press Play to court. So everything is centered around Fume. The reason why the videos are down because Fume has instructed his legal team to get them videos down. But then he tried to be like, oh, Press Play took down the videos, and actually, like Press Play had the option to keep them up, and he didn't. So what I want to just kind of focus on is just the facts of the contract. Just before we wrap this up, you get me? The facts of the contract, because that's the area where he was saying, oh yeah, my man has got an industry manager and this is what Goku was doing and X, Y, and Z.
managing him.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's where I have my that's where I'm pissed off, because I didn't sign anything. Nothing's been sent to me. There's no evidence of it. There's no shred of evidence of everything ever been sent to me. You know my name because I sent you my name and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I've not seen this contract every day in my life. Does my name appear on that contract?
Nope. Don't see. I don't see your name.
Have I signed it?
And I know the people actually who signed it is a cameraman. A cameraman signed it, and he didn't have the rights to sign it. Do you get it? So basically,
And where'd the money go?
The money has gone to Ghostface's girlfriend. I think it went to Ghostface's girlfriend. You get me? And it went from there. So I know these things, and I know that we can prove these things. Do you know what I mean? But
but here's my question: is that notice this?
yeah,
What has he said publicly? He doesn't like lies. He doesn't like people talking on his name.
yep,
And he said to UKL
yeah,
all everyone on the panel, right, about capping. Have
yeah,
I cap? Have you sensed cap?
yeah,
Brother, you've just said that I've signed something I never signed.
yeah,
You've said I was managing something I wasn't managing.
yeah,
So is that not cap?
yeah.
Like, at
Listen,
this point, I feel like you need to play like squash, like Big Breeze intro.
the worst thing he could have done is go on live and address things because he said, do you know what it is? You see, when someone says so much lies, yeah, they're always going to expose themselves. The truth will always come out along the lines. Do you know what I mean? So he won't even remember how far or who was doing what and what. So when he's trying to think about things, it's happened so long, he don't even know the actual truth. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He needs to expose himself. So my thing,
Let me say this.
go on, bro.
So to cut you, let me say this as well, yeah. What I found hilarious. Remember, I was touching on the concept of when he said, "Oh, you were talking on me in that private DM between me and him," yeah.
Yeah,
And I talked about disrespect. This is the level of fucking unprofessionalism I was dealing with at the time. So he goes to the kids directly, all three of them, to come to the studio. I don't know
yeah,
who went. I didn't know anything about it.
yeah,
They shot with a guy called Haruki, who does like graphics and stuff.
yeah,
There's a goat with him, right? So
yeah,
he had
yeah,
a friend who has goats and stuff. A goat took a shit on the carpet.
yeah, yeah,
The next day, Fumes is screaming at me about a goat taking a shit on his carpet. And I
yeah.
said to him, "Well,
I see that.
I hear you. Yeah, you're upset about this goat shitting on your carpet. Cool, I understand. You're upset the boys didn't clean up. I understand. But I wasn't aware that they were there. It was a late night session that I wasn't aware of. So there's
Yeah,
no actual appropriate adult with these kids. Okay, and the minors at the end of the day, don't forget.
yeah,
A goat taking a defecate on your carpet. I'm sorry that happened. But why are you calling me and you're angry at me for it?
yeah,
And then he gets the whole thing of, I'm from South Acton. Do you know what I could do to you? I know you come out of the radio station all the time. And that's why I know I talk about disrespect.
yeah,
One, you've expected me to come and apologize for something that had nothing to do with me, right? Two, you then threaten my safety. Bro, at what point are you showing me any kind of level of respect as a fellow human being, let alone as a fellow
yeah,
industry professional, given I'm an industry person to you? And am I
yeah,
an industry person? Not really, bro, because look at the lack of support we got around a lot of stuff we've done when it comes to drill karaoke. And you can go to people like BK, M1 on the beat and ask about me
yeah,
and how much I was doing. And I don't bring stuff up. There's artists you could probably speak to where they needed free uploads from Press Play, and I've messaged not Danny, but the other person no one wants
yeah,
to mention behind the scenes
yeah,
at Press Play,
yeah,
and he bust someone like, yeah, let me give him a free, not a problem, not a problem. Do you know what I mean? Because the
yeah,
relationship was good.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that tells you, like, bro, I don't even come out here preaching all of that. But yeah, the reality in terms of the whole Fumes thing is he's jumped in at me over a goat taking a poo on his carpet, which had nothing to do with me. It's not my goat. I didn't tell the boys to be there. You've gone to these kids who are underage and you want them to be around your studio and you're trying to talk to them about signing them and being their manager, and you've used that as bait. And so many times where I wasn't aware why Lucii kept going there. And I said to him, why'd you keep going around when that's the situation, the business situation was messed up with him? And he
yeah.
said, because we're gonna record a mixtape and he's gonna put a lot of money behind the promo to say sorry and to square things off in terms of the plugged in originally and the 7 bags.
Bloody hell, man.
So what happened there? And notice on the podcast, what does he say? He talks about sometimes you do things for favors. Well, where were the favors back then?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And sorry to cut you as well on this one, yeah. You mentioned about the voice note, which said he had management, and then I approached him afterwards after he
yeah,
left his management.
yeah.
Notice he cut that voice note very quickly.
Yeah, of course he
Why?
did. Of course he cut it.
Why?
Yeah,
And no one picked up on it. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I know you're saying it's Fumes. Yeah, Fumes said what he said, but it's down to the podcast people to then also pick up on that.
yeah. No, I hear you.
Does that make sense?
I hear you. I hear you. Obviously, you're right. He cut it very quickly. No one picked up on that. But only you're gonna look into that because you're the guy that's having to deal with the backlash. Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what I'm trying to say?
And UKL went, is that his real name? I don't want to talk about it. Why didn't you want to talk about it? Because now, as you're throwing that contract around, you can't prove or disprove my name's on there.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah,
very strategic, and it's like you've done this on purpose
yeah,
to come out here after 4 and a bit years of you and I not communicating at all, to run my name into the mud and say I did something I never did. And you literally said I scammed people publicly, and I haven't scammed them. When the artists themselves say he had nothing to do with it, and you're still doubling down on I've scammed someone.
Crazy, man.
You hear Lucie's side, yeah, you'll hear Lucie's side tomorrow, bro. I haven't spoken to Lucii.
I spoke to Lucii.
since-
I spoke to Lucii this morning, so I heard Lucii's side.
Yeah.
I've learned to listen
And
to
I
your
know-
side.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about it is, yeah, me and Lucii haven't spoken in years. August last year, I unblocked him on no WhatsApp. and I sent him a message. So I thought, you know what, we've grown, like life's moved on.
Yeah.
And the reality is, the original argument as to why I left, and I left before Lean With It came out,
Yeah.
right? In terms of the management team,
Yeah.
was actually not Lucii. Lucii was stuck in the middle of it, and Lucii was
Yeah.
trying to keep me, you know, in and around it. And I said to him, bro, you've got to decide that the trio is going to take you further than me. So you got to work with them, right?
Okay.
And that was a conversation he and I had, and I blocked everyone off the back of that.
Yeah.
Moved on with my life, and I thought, what am I doing? You know, because I was sat there and
Yeah.
someone's talking to me, and I was like, you know, during lockdown we had some good moments. We had
Yeah.
no budget, yet we did millions of views. We've done millions of streams with
Yeah.
no support, no budget. People threatening us, all sorts. People not letting us put music up. People pulling down music. People claiming our music. Went through all of that, yeah.
That's
And
mad.
you know what? We still did something. Like, you know, and I thought and we had like a conversation. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that conversation. We've not really spoken. And then I messaged him because he put the thing about no Fumes engineer, like keep my name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
what happened? And then he sent you the, you know, the screen recording
Yeah,
of what
yeah.
was said next.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, this is nuts.
Nah, bro. Like I said, I ain't got nothing flipping written down to answer you any questions. It was literally just to kind of have a conversation. And bro, like, look, we all get done dirty in the music scene. So I'm even sorry that even happened to you, bro. You heard my story, all and bro, I'll be honest with you. The best bet is just being happy outside the music industry and making other sources of money, because there's not money like that even in music. So when you're trying to build a culture with dark people and evil and bad mind people, bro, sometimes you just feel like, do you know what? Do you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna say, keep on doing your thing, my brother. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap up, man?
Yeah, you're completely right in everything you just said. Because the reality is, you can be happy outside it. There are bigger things in this world. Clearly, to certain people, this is all they've got, if that made sense. And that's the
100%.
only happiness that they get, is that bit of influence and a bit of power. Whether that means throwing people under the bus, affecting other people's lives or not, they don't care. But the reality is, there's bigger things in life. I'm blessed. I have children. I have a family. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy in where I am.
Man.
I have loving people around me.
Blessing,
I don't have
bro.
to worry about that.
That's it, man.
Simple.
And bro, remember, I see bad mind people down the line, might not happen today, tomorrow, next week. They will always, the karma will always come on them, bro. Whether if it's them, whether it's someone else, do you know what I mean? It will always come on them, bro. So keep on doing your thing, man. And thank you for your time, my brother. Don't worry, man.
Thank you for
we'll get down to the
Appreciate
bottom
you.
of this. Big respect, man. Have a good one, my bro, yeah? Big respect, man.